Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
But my thing is this, though. Here's my thing, bro. I don't know, bro, Andrew, when you got on to Bill Cosby be his publicist, but I know as early as 2014, I was advocating for Dr. Bill Cosby innocent, along with Baba Dick Gregory. He'll come on my show and talk about what was going on with his dear friend, you know, featuring stories. But also, you had new black media people like Nicole's View and Drew Story. They went to the trial on their own dime, as well as you got brother Gavin Richard, the attorney from New Orleans.
Gavin Richards. I want to do this.
Yeah, Gavin Richard.
Look,
right. But here,
I want to do this show tomorrow.
Though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to finish this point. The problem that Malcolm said he had with the black press is the fact that we was always reacting to what the white media put out. We had a chance to get in front of this story about Dr. Bill Cosby. I believe the tide is turning right now with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation case in Virginia. But we had a chance to protect him at the beginning, to get in front of this and control the narrative. And we missed that chance because I know I've been doing work, putting out Dr. Cosby, talking to people like Judge Joe Brown before anybody else to put their message about Dr. Cosby, how he felt about the case. And you had a lot of supporters in the grassroots, not in the so-called old traditional media, but in the grassroots like Kara Dangerous and I, who would have been more than willing to put it all on the line for Dr. Cosby. We didn't gain anything out of this. We lost friends and family on social media, got disinvited from cookouts, standing for Dr. Cosby. Yeah, we were on the right side of history, though. But I don't know when you got on board, but I wish, because you talk about how you don't have a social media presence, and I think that's not the right way to think as a publicist. With all due respect to you, and you're a good brother, but I'm saying as a publicist, you should have a social media presence. Because Goya already, as spiteful as she is very media savvy. She's very
well. Look, I would explain to you this way. I started representing Mr. Cosby and working with him in 2000, and that was in 11. I started working with Dick Gregory. Matter of fact, I have in my house Dick Gregory's Lifetime Achievement Award. He told me to hold for him that I got for him while representing the SCLC for 10 years.
That's right.
And so
shut up, huh?
I have this Lifetime Achievement Award in my house.
No, that's how he would talk to folks.
He used to curse me out, but that's
yeah. He would call me. He would call me every morning and cuss me out for no reason.
That's right.
And he got on the phone with Mr. Cosby, and I have a picture. But he got on the phone with Mr. Cosby, and he said, Bill, this is the baddest nigga on the planet. You better keep him around. And he said, how old were you, Andrew, when you started with Cosby? I said, 37. He said, how old was Cosby? I said, 73. He said, look, what year you was born? I said, 73. He said, look, nigga, the numbers don't lie. And
dang, so hard.
That's worse than Kevin Samuels,
yeah, worse than Kevin Samuels. And Dick Gregory, man, the day he passed away, John Bellamy and his son Christian Gregory called me because he gave Bill Cosby his start at the Hungry Eye in San Francisco. He gave Bill Cosby and Barbara Streisand his start because he joined the Civil Rights Movement.
Right.
And so Mr. Gregory called, and we got him on. And Mr. Cosby said, "Dick, get out that bed, man. Okay, you got our attention. All right, man. Now we want to laugh. Get out the bed, man." He said, Bill, I love you, man. I love you, Andrew. So I love y'all. And then he said, I'm going to go get me some sun, man. I'm going to get out this bed. He got out the bed. I got the picture they sent me of him when he went in. They put him in a wheelchair. He went out the sun. And, man, he crashed an hour after we talked to him. And Mr. and Mrs. Cosby came to his funeral.
Yep.
And it was amazing, man. Dick Gregory was an amazing guy. But when you talk about social media presence, let me tell you my purpose behind that.
Mhm.
I worked in the news business for 12 years. I worked for ABC and Fox. Fox was my last station. Started my firm in 2007. Um, the reason why I started my firm is because, the news business taught me how to set people up like my own people.
Mm.
They taught me their game. You know, I was sitting in the control room when the producer and sitting next to the director and the technical director of the TV, they would go and see a shooting into a black community and they were like, go get the worst looking person.
Mhm.
Shooting in the white community, they were like, no, don't go talk to nobody because my family live in that community. Or a school shooting, my kid go to that school. So I started seeing the effects of social media taking black people away from current events of the day. And I felt that I could be more valuable to the clients I represent and the people and the work that I'm doing right now without being sidetracked on trying to keep up with my own posts and trying to be engaging because I need to be focused and primarily focused on being engaged and just fighting this good fight. Uh, I went to a school, Miles College. It was a school where King used to have his meetings at the bottom of the LRC. It's a school where the select and buying campaign was started by Judge U.W. Clemens, who became a federal judge and appointed by Jimmy Carter. He was the
Mm.
SGA president, Miles.
Okay.
And Donald and Frank, a guy by the name of Frank Dukes, who's still a CME pastor today. Miles is a CME school. And most of my professors were civil rights leaders. Uh, Fred Shuttlesworth, who the Birmingham airport is named after, Reverend Shuttlesworth, who was an outlaw of the civil rights movement. Um, I got to shake his hand, man,
Mm.
and touch his head and feel the lumps inside his on his
Mm.
head where he was beat, you
Mhm.
know. And one thing he always that these guys, man, always taught me, they was like, look, I need you to stay steady on the case.
Mhm.
And sometimes you can't stay steady on the case when you're sidetracked by a website and trying to be popular yourself. Because it's never about me. The moment I make it about me, I don't want to do it no more. I don't want it about me. I understand what people say. Well, you don't have a presence and you don't have this. Look, you could Google me. I'm out here every day. I helped the R. Kelly team from behind the scenes for 5 years. That's how Jennifer Bungie, our attorney on this civil matter, that's how she got the
Mhm.
case. And I was helping them from behind the story, behind just because I've always been a behind the scenes guy. I
So are
never
you
wanted to
trying to
be
say
out
that you
front.
don't necessarily need to be out there on social media because you're handling business behind the scenes? I think Ron's concern was that maybe that could have been a wider scope of.
I mean, you're a publicist. I
No,
understand what
no,
you're saying, but you in the media business,
yeah,
you're supposed to be able to get in front of the story and
yeah. I hear
control
what I hear.
where they're going with
I
the
hear what
story. Yeah,
I hear what you're
I know
saying.
what you're
I hear
saying,
what
but
you're
you're a
saying, but
publicist guy,
I hear what you say. Well, I'm publicist, crisis manager. I do it all. But
right?
I hear what you're saying. But it's the way Kara found me,
Mhm.
and I'm responsive to everybody. Um, at that time, when that happened, I was in D.C. with Mr. Cosby. We had put the art collection on loan, and
Mhm.
Mr. Cosby's publicist, who was with him, David Brokaw, who had been with him for 40 years.
Mhm.
David's father, Norman Brokaw, was the chairman and founder of William Morris.
Mm.
He's the one that got Cosby, the Cosby Show. He was Cosby's agent.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Norman gets sick. Norman gets sick. Nobody would have touched Cosby if Norman hadn't got sick. And let me go backwards. Let me go backwards and tell you
Mhm.
why we know and this is happening to Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
in 2005, Bill Cosby, he settles out with Andrea Constant. Michelle Obama and Barack Obama will call him every day and ask for him to publicly endorse them. Mr. Cosby told Barack, I can't do it. I
Mhm.
can't do it because I just settled with this woman. I don't want to bring any heat to you.
Right.
Barack said, look, we got a machine. We got a machine. You'll be okay. Cosby said, look, I want to protect you. I know I know what you're saying. I just think that they're gonna bring out how I settled with this white woman, and they're gonna hurt your efforts. So Michelle Obama used to call the house. people like Oprah had stayed at that Massachusetts house. Oprah and Stedman stayed there. Johnny Cochran forgot who he was in their gazebo at that Massachusetts house. Cicely Tyson and Miles Davis got married at that Massachusetts property. And so Cosby was giving him a lot of wisdom. Well, then fast forward, Cosby decides, because Norman gets sick. They knew he didn't have the protection because Norman Brokaw is the icon, controls everything, you know, and they knew Cosby didn't have the protection. Norman gets sick. Then it's 2014, summer 2014. Mr. Cosby calls me up. He said, look, man, I can't get in touch with David. David ain't taking my calls. And he said, I said, what do you mean? He's in Maine touring. He's about to do a comedy show. He said, can you look online and see is anybody trying to talk about me and women? I looked and it was this Newsweek article done by this Gawker trying to bring up Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Roman Polanski, and Woody Allen. I said, man, he said, okay, tell me honestly, Andrew, do you think it's going to stick? I said, nah, nobody's going to buy into it. No one's going to buy into it. So we fast forward to they're going to, the only way you got to see this African-American art collection, you had to be invited to the houses. That's the only way. So they decided to give the Smithsonian millions of dollars and put the collection on loan for 2 years. So I had Cosby, my interviews I set up for Cosby that day was Roland Martin and Gwen Ifill. 2 interviews I set up. After I finished, I go back to the hotel. Cosby, he said, look, it was 2 books on education that he signed, one to Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. He said, I need you to call the White House and get them these books. I said, okay, fine. So I called the White House. They accept my call. I'm trying to get them these books. Everybody stood me up. They had me going from this corner, going to this location. For some reason, people were standing me up. I get back to my hotel, and I'm standing at the Lowe's in D.C. downtown, and all of a sudden the allegations hit. All because David purposely, in my mind, left Mr. Cosby unattended, and this AP reporter got to put him on the spot with his wife sitting next to him. He said, hey, if you have any integrity, I would appreciate if you destroy this tape.
I remember that like yesterday.
Okay, so by that time, this is a planned effort. I'm just painting the picture for you. It's a planned effort. By that time, I'm going to connect the dots. Remember 2005, the Obamas, whole deal. So by that time, before all of that happened, Mr. Cosby was touring like crazy. In a different, he was doing almost at least 8 cities a week at his age, 8 to 10 cities, sell out shows. William Morris tells him, you're too old now for us to shop a show. We had a new TV show coming out February 2015. Diane Carroll was going to play his wife. He was going to have 1 kid left in the house. Well, Cosby gets upset with William Morris, had been with them for almost 50 plus years. He leaves and goes to CAA. Guess who purchases William Morris? R.E. Emanuel, whose brother is Rahm Emanuel, the chief of staff to Obama, and Dr. Emanuel, who creates Obamacare. They're pissed with Cosby because he got a new TV show coming out. He saved William Morris from bankruptcy for 7 years, almost 7 years, as well as NBC a number of times.
Hey everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that jingle review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.